I'm that girl who is incredibly grateful for the abundance of honest, reliable, encouraging, empowering people in my life. I just am so blown away because I keep thinking about all the times in my life where I haven't had this abundance of pure gifts to humanity, supporting me, loving me, and encouraging me to continue on. And this is how life should always have been. And potentially from other lifetimes we've had off planet, we can trust that that's probably the normal. And so it has been an extraordinary experience to be going on this journey and having to stumble over all of this information and trying to make sense out of all of it, while also meeting a lot of fascinating people along the way. And it has helped me be able to really fine tune my intuition and senses onto people as I have discovered more and more and more my intuition isn't wrong. And unfortunately, that is the case when you pick up on other people's agendas and other people's desires and wants, which aren't to empower themselves, and it's certainly not to empower others. And so that is fine, that is their journey, but I no longer support that vacuum of energy. It's exhausting and draining, and it is not for my highest good. And so what it looks like is just knowing the difference between what is serving me and what is not, and what is distracting me. And it can be said for some social media pages. It can be said about influencers and people who think that they're pretty important with the big narratives of what's going on for this country that I'm living in and for this world. And ultimately, it always comes down to one thing when we ask the subconscious, where is the truth? Where is the information? Where should we lead? Who should we follow? They always say yourselves, always yourselves, because even if someone's promoting their own propaganda, their own truth, that is maybe truly authenticity for them, the truth for them may be the case, but it may not be your truth, may not be your collective's truth. And we know that other agendas and we know that many other agendas are based on lies upon lies upon lies. They build that foundation to be able to distract and manipulate. And this is the case in every aspect of this world, unfortunately. And so using our discernment, using our intuition, and really feeling into the other person's agenda is quite significant, because it can save us a lot of time and a lot of frustrations. And of course, there's lessons in everything that we do. But I think it's time now for us to all learn the one big lesson, which is follow our own intuition and focus on our own selves and our own truth versus believing, say, one narrative of a mainstream media, for example. I mean, how many times do you need to be told dishonesty? You must be able to be open to both sides of the situation, both angles. Now, we give you this, I feel like they're trying to come in. They want me to channel soon, so pardon me while I try to quickly get out my little monkey mind workings here. So when we have the number 6, I will look at it and see it's number 6. So you'll look at it and see that it's number 9. And then people looking at it from the sides could think it's like the letter G, So yes, my 6 is true. It absolutely is 100% factual true. It's 6 from my perspective and my position. And yours is exactly the same. Yours is exactly 9 as well. And then the G's and whatever else. So it's the same one symbol. It's the same one statement piece, but it's can be quite vastly different depending on the angles. And so this is why it is so important for everyone to get their own quantum sessions Let your subconscious speak freely through you. It activates you, it supports you, it encourages you, and you should be able to trust yourself over anybody else. It is the starting point of doing your inner work and empowering yourself, is trusting yourself. And so we know that those people with the big egos don't want to have their quantum sessions because it may, humble them in some shape or form. And that's embarrassing for them because they're pretty cocky and confident of who they are and what they preach. And that's all fantastic. And then we have the scale of spectrums of people who are so too shy, too humble, too afraid to be something special and important, because what they do next when they still feel like they are worthless because they've believed everyone so far telling them and making them feel insignificant and making them feel small as they are pushing on their own agenda to manipulate and coerce people. So it's extraordinary times. And there was lots of things that occurred through with me yesterday and during the night and sleep state. And the one thing that they really wanted me to understand the most is that we're in a big pressure cooker of density and pressure. And so right now, they're sort of saying your carbon bodies. So think of it as like charcoal, carbon. And what do you do with charcoal? Apparently, if you put lots of pressure on it, it creates diamonds, light bodies. And so they're sort of saying this is all necessary, it's all obviously purposeful. And so this pressure on the density of the carbon, which is the emotions, it is the physical 3D, you're getting so pressurized, it turns it into something beautiful. Because you can't escape that pressure, you have to evolve, because there is no other option. You get to that intensive, hardcore density, you can't implode, so therefore you must, I don't want to say explode, because you're not, you're just evolving, and it's all fantastic. Remembering there is no real death. Your souls never die, your consciousness never dies, ever. You're always and have always been a conscious being, regardless of whether you have a physical body or not. So it is profound when we can step into this higher perspective and trust that there is life after death. There is more than just this illusion of 3D. And right now, what is happening for this planet is being observed by so many. And so, while I know so many people are supposed to profoundly wake up and be of profound service, they are being really pressurized and crunched and grinded into their own density, their own fears, their own traumas that they're holding on to, their egos that they're holding on to that are not balanced. There's so much going on. And please do not assume that I am in a judgmental perspective here. This is simply observations from so many people. And it is so empowering to see people catch themselves realizing that they're looping in this density that doesn't serve them, and actually be honest with themselves and others. Why were they that dense? Why were they so afraid to step up? And so there's obviously, for each individual person, there is a journey and statements and information there. But I am seeing so many amazing potential people who are supposed to be here for real serious empowerment of others and self, and they're still sort of looping and still haven't made that choice and decision to step up. And I know that it's hard. Absolutely, it's hard. This is why they've always been telling us, love yourselves, get grounded, know your balance, know that you can choose to hold on to emotion or not. Know you've got control of your mind and your emotions, and you're fully responsible for your actions. You're fully responsible for your mindsets. So what are you going to do with it while you're still here? It's a fascinating time. And as we can see, things are just getting more and more and more intense to be able to push people into this conflict and this density, to have this profound opportunity to expand. Oh, that's nicer, isn't it? Expanding is much nicer than exploding. So thank you so much for all those incredible people that messaged me yesterday. I am so sorry for you being on that journey with me, that emotional journey with me. It is so good to get back into balance. It's so good to realize that what needed to happen in this density was so purposeful, to be able to really add so much pressure onto our hearts, onto our morals, onto our responsibilities, that we all knew we couldn't just buckle under this pressure. We all knew that at some point there will be expansion. And there is the Pro Fest, what is happening in Wellington at the moment, has expanded in numbers. It has expanded dramatically, and there is so much love and community and so much compassion and unity and instant friends and instant connections. And it is just, this is what the whole world needs right now. And so it is incredible times to see what they have overcome. Incredible. It has not broken them. In fact, it has empowered them, and it has empowered others to step up and to be able to be accounted, to share their truths and experiences and not be afraid. We should never be afraid to speak our truth. And those people who truly are afraid to speak what they are trying to get out in agendas, they're afraid because it's not the truth. And so they are scurrying, they are hiding, they are avoiding, and they are fully distracted. And so we know the difference between empowerment and disempowerment, and we can see fully who is doing what, really. And so we're all wanting to evolve. We're all wanting to help and be the best we can be. And if those people are choosing to have that density, if that's the best you can do, and if that's the best you can be, we all can respect that. There is no judgment. But no, you have the opportunity to change. You have the choices to do as you need to do. And sometimes helping yourself out of that density is helping others. And so find your way to empower yourself. I beg of you to consider yourself and others at this important time, to be able to drop those emotions, honor them, acknowledge them, respect them. But there is no time to be playing with those for too long, because we all have work to do. We all need to shine our light. We all need to shine and share our love. And we all need to be mature about it and not flip into density, not flip into reactions. We have to give as much as we can to these people, to all people, respecting both sides of this play, respecting both sides of this drama, as people need to have these experiences on both sides of the coin. So we can't disrespect those who are screaming at us that the number is 9 when we can clearly see it's 6. Your perspective is not my perspective when we're looking at a number that can be 2 things at once, including a letter. So, okay, enough of me. Let's see what they have to say, because they've been watching this and they've been preparing us for these events, knowing that this is just one of many things that are going to be occurring for me personally in my physical space. So I know that this is not unique. Again, New Zealand's not a unique unicorn for these movements at all. And so let's remind ourselves what they have to say to us, because I always think that they've got great perspective, but honoring the emotions is something we have to do in this 3D level. And they can observe it, but it's certainly not their choices to play with that muck. Okay, excuse me. I'm just going to set the intention that I don't want to cry today. I think you've seen the ugly crying enough, and I'm going to try and compose myself. Oh, and I can already feel them saying, you just hold them and you to accept your emotions. So yes, we're here. And isn't it interesting, Joanne, that you just told yourself and others to honor those feelings and accept it, and then you just put a condition upon us that made us have an agreement that we would not make you cry today. And those emotions and feelings that you choose to hold on to can be reactive. And there is nothing wrong with it. You're in a planet, you're in an existence that you have to accept the responses of your body and your emotions. But we do also agree with you to not indulge in them for too long, because they are not serving you. It is like when you eat something, you taste it the first time truly, but then the rest of the meal can almost be tasteless because it's the same of the same. And so we want to say that that is the same as holding on to your emotions. You feel the emotions the first time, but you don't feel into each mouthful of the emotions that you have. And so just watch what you're doing. Are you binging on that smorgasbord of emotions constantly without stopping and acknowledging the flavors of the emotions? Because that is where the true levels and layers of information is for you to learn and grow from. And so we have been watching, very much so. We have been looking upon all of those who are in those convoys. And of course, we are supporting all around the world. This is not unique to New Zealand, as you know, but this is a significant time for all of these people, again, on both sides. This is great opportunities. This is great experiences for people to suddenly awaken to certain narratives. And we like that you express the number of the 6 that can be seen as the 9. And so we're wanting to say to you that we are so proud of you for working this out through yourself. That is true self-empowerment. And yes, we are always here. We're always wanting to support you and encourage you when you are stifling yourself and getting confused and lost with the perception that you want to gain. But look how much you are working through this organically yourself. And we wanted you to express this and share this with others, because many people think they can't do their inner work because they can't have their teams on beckoning call as you do to channel them. And we're saying it's not about running to us either. You're all very capable of being able to do your inner work by yourselves. This is you doing your work for yourselves. And we have said this many times, we cannot even do your inner work for you. We are busily organizing so much possibilities and experiences for you to have to experience, for you to have to focus on it and to be exposed to certain things for you to do your inner work, and for you to be triggered along the way to have those experiences. Yes, we understand that you do not appreciate being triggered, but how else are we supposed to get you and your attention and your focus when you're so easily, readily wanting to be distracted from one thing from another? You are almost at the point where you have a attention deficit because you can't focus on much. And this is another reason why we wanted these shorter videos for those who are needing them, because it is too much, it is too overwhelming. They need to listen to one thing and apply it for that day and have bite sizes, plate sizes of lessons and experiences and perceptions, because it's too much otherwise. We want to say that those who are awakening to the truth are almost got groggy, sleepy still, and disorientated, and then being forced into the bright light of our knowledge, the bright light of our perception, the bright light of our information is too blinding for many that want to go straight back to bed. And this has happened so many times for those who have had profound connections with their subconsciouses and their collectives and many other beings in their own quantum sessions. It is too much. We knew this. We knew it is time to really push people awakened to the truth, for them to really stop being distracted with their 3D assumptions of what is important. We see many people have chosen to distract themselves once again. And that is their choice, and that is the limit of their experiences thus far. But it doesn't mean that we stop. We stop being there. We don't stop being their guides. Yes, they will tune us directly out, but we have much more other means and ways to get their attention. And sometimes they feel very victimized by our choices to get their attention. But that is their limited perspective, because everything we do is from love. Everything we do is from love, for love to you. Those people who doubt that have trust issues, have love issues, can't accept love and cannot trust. These are fundamental things you should have overcome. And if this is the day for you to notice you have got those are very easily simple things to overcome at this point in time. Honor thyself, respect thyself. Honor others and respect others. Be in that higher frequency of vibration. Trust all is well, because all is well. When you choose to be responsible for your mindsets and your actions and your behaviors and the way you want the world to see your conduct. For those of you who know you have got skill sets to be able to send love to the world, which is all of you. You all have that skill set and that capability to choose to send love and empowerment to the world. We ask you to do this now. You hold on to so much density. And when you are focusing on sending love to the world, you have to stop with that distraction of that density to overcome your own distractions. You will find it harder and harder and harder to hold on to that density when you stop being of service. And that is another way that we want to motivate you into releasing all that no longer serves you. This is a significant time for humanity in so many ways. And for most of you, this is the true reason why you came here, to be of service at this time. This is why you're desperate to get as much information as possible for you to be of service the most. And so, for those who are serious with their missions and those who are serious to honor their life contracts, their life purpose, to honor this planet and to honor humanity, we thank you for trusting. We thank you for loving. And we thank you for knowing the difference between empowerment and disempowerment. And we say this with much love. Feels like there was quite a room of people, beings, I should say, wanting to impress that message onto us. So I'll have to go listen back to hear it all. Then don't seem to be in that sort of jovial, high-spirited mood. They seem more like they're trying to tell us to get on with it, get to the point of why we are here. Because I think for those people who have got these incredible skill sets to be of service and still choose to not, I think that's kind of bothering them, because it's like you've got all of these opportunities, you've got all of this wisdom, you've got all of this knowledge, you've got all this capability, but you're still choosing not to step up. And so I know it's a choice, but they're not going to empower you while you're disempowering yourself and others. So I'm sorry if this feels like tough love again. You know, we know they're very good at doing that for us when we're having distraction mode. So anyway, I love you guys so much. And thank you again for your incredible love and support and acceptance of me and my journey. Oh, this has certainly been an epic week. And I can see the beauty of what and why all of those things needed to happen. That horrible, horrific day for New Zealand actually was the catalyst for profound growth in community and connection. So there is silver linings when we just allow and trust that it's all going to unfold as it needs to. All my love to you. All my love to you. I'm not afraid to share my love to you. I'm not afraid of anything. The truth is always going to come out. Love will always win. We've heard that. I believe that. I feel that. And so it's truly hard to support those who are still in this fear of panic and worrying about the other agendas here on this planet and us being controlled and manipulated. Of course, that sounds really scary, but we know bigger information, don't we? We know that this is all purposeful to get us to that point to shift. And so it's sort of challenging because we don't need to dip into the worry of 3D and our future here on 3D, because we know that there is going to be profound significances. People have to make their choices now. Do they want to raise above it, or do they want to just keep in density? They're going to use their frequency vibrations to be able to help themselves shift. We know that if you are not at the right frequency, you can't get to New Earth, because it is a higher frequency that just does not match 3D. And so it means that you would be on the ships longer. It means that you would be delayed getting to New Earth longer. There is nothing wrong with being the last person to arrive on New Earth. It's a choice that you're making, and there's consequences to your choices. And so if you feel too pressurized, take a minute, unpack that, unfold that, acknowledge it, love it, heal it, empower yourself, move forward. It's very possible, my friends, to do our inner work with grace and joy, even though sometimes it looks like tears and snot bubbles. Okay. I truly wish that you have a profound day of just reflection and honoring yourself and honoring others along your journey.